Sonya Anise is a children's author and illustrator. Sonya just released the book MUMAGEDDON and the Food Magician. Welcome to Teen Buzz Radio, Sonya.
Hi, Richard. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. First of all, just tell us about the book.
Well, it's a deliciously wild madcap joyride about passion, daring to follow your dreams and speaking up. And it's about a boy with big dreams of chocolatey greatness. Think Gordon Ramsay meets Willy Wonka. So the little boy is often left at home alone, forced to make his own lunch. He discovers a talent for food magic, but his dreams of chef stardom are shattered when he's whisked off to boarding school, where he's sentenced to a daily drudgery of good morning wedgies and soggy sprouts. He plots his escape. Down knotted bed sheets into a tunnel dug with a spoon, I hear you cry. Not for this culinary wizard. Just as things get sticky, he discovers something mightier than hocus pocus, that love is the most powerful magic of all. It's a rhyming picture book, but it's actually for all ages, and older kids and adults really love it too because it's got lots of layered humor that the younger audience won't really get till they grow up and reread it.
Where did this idea for the book come from?
Well, I was a lot like Roald Dahl's Matilda when I was small. I was always lost in books and writing poems and illustrating them in a little book. So I was mad about Roald Dahl at the time and revolting rhymes. So I think that was a big influence on me. And I actually wrote this story when I was driving 28,000 kilometers around the Australian outback in a truck.
Wow.
which is because I always have a notebook with me and always scribbling ideas and poems and sketching. So the bones of the poem, or most of the poem, was written then 25 years ago. And I've been creative all my life, an artist, photographer, designer, art director, many things. But I think that the joys you have when you're young, very small, always come back to you. Those early passions tend to be the things that you really should follow in life.
Mm. And you're the illustrator as well. So you're a
Yeah.
one-woman show, yeah?
Yeah, but I was I was very hard on myself when I was doing the illustrations, and I kept thinking they're not good enough, they're not good enough. And when you're measuring yourself against all these wonderful illustrators in the world and great artists, that's a real lesson, not to compare yourself to other people, and just to allow it to be what it is when it comes out. And because the illustrations are what people really love. So that was a nice surprise for me to trust the process and know that it's good enough.
You say you wrote this book 25 years ago. Why is it taking so long to publish it?
Well, actually, it's probably self-belief, which is one of the things I'd love to chat with you about today, because I think when you're particularly creative, or you come up with ideas and you have big dreams, often you don't feel brave enough to pursue them, or you think your ideas are silly, or you've told them to the wrong person who hasn't been positive, and you've sort of gone back into your shell and thought, oh, that was silly, I shouldn't do that. So it's really, really important to believe in yourself and to trust your own ideas in your own creativity, and know that anything you create from your heart is meant to be, and it's great. And if it's exciting and gives you great passion, then it's something you're meant to be following.
Wow, that's great advice to all our teen listeners. Now, you mentioned like you were driving around the outback 25 years ago. I understand you've been all over the world, basically, yeah? You love traveling. Tell me about your travels. Where you been?
I do love traveling. I think because, I like to leave no stone unturned, and discover new things. Every time you go somewhere, I like to go to very remote places where people and cultures are very different to the one ones I grew up in, just to learn and see and understand how other people live and what they get up to and what their customs are and what they eat and what they do. And also their ancient history and temples and weird and wonderful things that happen in all their animals tend to be very different, exotic animals. So I've been in many places. As I said, I used to live in Australia, so I drove all around Australia where they have incredible animals. And then I've been all around India and South America, Central America. My thing's climbing mountains. I love to go trekking and climb mountains. So that brings me to another point. For me, creativity comes when you're in nature. So I think advice to anybody who's going to pursue a creative endeavor is to leave your phone at home and walk in nature, preferably alone or with your animal because they're not very talkative, and take a little notepad with you and jot down any ideas that come to you as you're walking, because they come straight from the heart and they're definitely the ones that you should follow. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I love to explore so much, because it opens you up and expands your ideas and ideas about yourself and life and what's possible.
Yeah. Follow your passions is a big message in the book. What advice have you got to our young listeners? Why is this so important?
Because I think we're here to be passionate and excited and to create. And I think it's really important not to censor yourself when you're creating and just go wild and free and make mistakes and experiment and play and allow happy accidents to happen and have that creative freedom and be completely yourself and not worry about what everybody else is up to or what they've done or what's gone before. It's really good to be inspired by other people, whether it's a chef or a singer or whatever your creative endeavor might be. But then within that, to find your own voice and just be completely true to yourself. And also, I think it's very important when you have your ideas or your creations when they're ready, to only share them with people who have the same taste as you. So if you're into K-pop and you're showing your amazing new song to someone who loves opera, they're not going to love it and they're not going to be enthusiastic and they're not going to give you great feedback. So it's really important to find the right people to share your ideas with, but ultimately to listen to your inner voice, because that's the only one that matters. Just listen to yourself. You're the best judge of your own creativity and your own passions and what's best for you. And the other thing is to not to censor yourself too early, to really explore and create and just let things be what they're going to be or what they want to be. And then you can always come back to it later and think, okay, is this right for the audience or whoever I'm creating it for? But ultimately, I think you're your greatest audience, and you should always just create for yourself for the sheer joy and fun of it. And that will only bring good stuff.
Wow, that is amazing advice. Teens, you hope you're listening. So tell me how if people want to buy the book, how can they track it down? Through Amazon or what?
It's available on Amazon. It's also in all bookstores, and you can also find it on my website, MUMAGEDDON.com, where there's loads of cool stuff, t-shirts and gifts and bags and mugs and things on there as well. I'd like to offer all your lovely listeners 20% off the pre-order of the book before the 26th of March. So if you head over to mumageddon.com and enter the code MAGIC20 on the new gift edition, you can get 20% off. So happy reading.
Wow, that's great. Can you spell Mumageddon?
MUMAGEDDON.com. MUMAGEDDON.com. Mumageddon.
Okay, thank you very much, Sonya Anise, for talking to us at Team Buzz Radio.
Thank you so much, Richard.